you guys, my name is Sheila. Welcome to my kitchen. It is finally open, up and running. And to start the show off right, I wanted to plant a seed of love and of perseverance. And this first one is an homage to my mom and her cinnamon toast that she used to make for me when I was a little kid in Iowa. There was nothing like the smell of cinnamon in the morning that made me feel like I was the most lucky, the most loved person ever. And that's what we're starting with. Except we're not going to make that toast with the butter that like breaks the, that breaks it and it pools and then she sprinkles cinnamon sugar in it. Best thing ever. We're going to do cinnamon rolls, something that I now make for my daughter to show her that I love her like crazy. So, and by the way, this happens to be the best cinnamon roll recipe you have ever cooked because I am picky and I have time tested and ingredient tested everything. All right, so that's it. Let's get started. So when I say this is the first dish that I have cooked, I moved back into the house about maybe 10 days ago, and I was like, I'm not cooking anything until I make these cinnamon rolls. So I am discovering my new oven along with you. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to make a paste out of water and flour. This will keep your cinnamon rolls really, really moist. Oh my God. I've seen recipes where someone, I'm gonna turn this heat down. Oh, because this fire is legit. I've seen recipes where people pour cream over the cinnamon roll before they bake it. You don't have to do that. This is gonna go pretty fast until a paste is formed like frosting. And I'm going to just keep whisking and whisking until it gets to about the temperature of 165, 170. 165, you are good. 170, I'm happy with that. Okay, we hit our mark. I'm gonna give it another little whirl. And then Magic PA is going to move the stand mixer over there. Oh, that is a pretty thing. While it's still piping hot, you're gonna add it to the bowl of your mixer. All of it. And by the way, this also is gonna make the yeast very, very happy. Come on, honey. Oh, definitely, we're gonna keep this in. Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what? I was given this as a gift when I graduated culinary school, like 12, 13 years ago. And this baby, oh no, man, she's trying to give up the ghost. All right, so we are going to add buttermilk a little bit at a time. And you can feel the bottom of the bowl. So we still want it to stay nice and warm because that's what's going to also activate the yeast. All right, you have done your job, mixer. Good, and this is still a bit warm, which is what we want. Now to this, I am going to add first the sugar and then the yeast, then the flour. You can use cups if you want, but when you're baking is chemistry. So I really like to be as precise as possible. Plus I like things turning out the way I fell in love with them in the first place. So that being said, I'm going to be using really, for the most part, grams, milliliters, just for that precision piece. Always, always, always crack your eggs in a different container than the main mixing container. Because trust me, they have a sense of humor and they like to get shells in there and it's hell trying to get it out. It's easier this way. All right, so we are going to get started. 2 eggs. Okay, you guys, now this is definitely one of those exercises in trusting the process. And much like a pot of boiling water, you can't watch it. You just gotta let it do its thing by itself in privacy, all right? So while this is coming together, it's a good idea to get your bowl that you're going to put this in oiled and ready to just chill. Well, not chill, expand. Yeah, expand. All right, we'll be back. This is me not following my own advice. I am definitely scraping down the bottom of this because my dough's a little bit too wet, so we're gonna fix it. Trusting the process, about a tablespoon at a time. Let that get incorporated. Because what you really want to have happen is the dough to be pulling away from the sides of the bowl. And I'm just pushing this over. There we go. All right, this is what we want. We want it to look like that. And now I'm going to increase the speed by a couple of clicks. We're going to transfer this to a well-oiled bowl that I'm going to oil. Just a moment. All right, so the dough is in the bowl. We are going to let it just sit there for about an hour, hour and a half until it doubles in size, and then it'll be ready to roll. Oh, cover it with some saran wrap, okay? I have a funny story. When I was in culinary school, and I'm probably going to tell this story every time this happens, there was this woman who was taking classes with her daughter, and her name was Claudia. And Claudia was always fucking up. She would always forget ingredients, and then, you know, the chef instructor would be coming by, and then at the last minute she would just dump everything in, and she would generally get the best score out of the taste test with the chef, okay? And she would always look over at me and she would go, "Sheila, is my secret ingredient," right? So I have a secret ingredient. I completely forgot to add a very crucial aspect to the dough. It's the butter. So this has not started to rise yet. Oh my God, thank God I found this before there we go, hold on. All right, you stay back in there. Honey, add 1 tablespoon of butter at a time. There's 70 grams in here. Also, hold on. You're going to see a ton of recipes that say, oh, add the eggs, add the sugar, add the yeast, add salt at this stage, but salt kills the yeast. You're going to get a better rise and a better taste if you add the salt at the butter stage, okay? Every time I see somebody on TV adding salt with the yeast, I'm like, ah! I mean, it still rises, but it's not as big as it could be, okay? The rise, okay? So, and here I am talking about people and forgetting to add the butter and the salt anyway, all right? But anyway, here we go. Wait till it's completely incorporated before you add the next tablespoon. And again, you want her to be able to pull away, just like that. Still a little sticky, a little tacky, but not too wet. There we go. There you are. Oh yeah, where were we? Cover this with saran wrap. Wait about an hour to 90 minutes until it doubles in size. Okay. With butter and salt. Not all cutting boards and not all rolling pins are created equal. If you are going to do a lot of pastry, using a marble board is really better because it stays cooler longer. We really don't want our dough to get too warm. Same with rolling pins. Now, yes, I can use my wooden ones, but I just happen to have these, and they really are better, and they're ice cold. Feel it, it's wonderful. Through the magic of television, this has doubled in size, and so has the bowl. I ran out of the same size bowl. We're gonna dust this. I have seen some cooks that actually oil the pin because they're working with wood, and they oil their cutting board. I don't have to do that in this way, but I might try that next time. Okay, nice. We are going to roll this out to a rectangle, basically the size of this cutting board. Ready. So we've got 225 grams of brown sugar. You can use a combination of white and brown. It's just, I think that most recipes today are putting so much sugar in everything. I tend to dial back, and that way you can eat my food and still feel great afterwards, all right? So 225 grams, brown sugar only. Let's have a really quick talk about cinnamon. All cinnamon is not actually cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon is the only, and this is simply organic. This is not a plug for them. I just happen to have this one in the house. This is true cinnamon. There's other cinnamons made out of something called cassis, and that's where you get your Vietnamese or your Saigon cinnamons. There's another one called something Kataji or something like that. These are not cinnamons, and they're horrible, horrible, horrible for your organs. So this is a slightly milder scent and flavor, but these other ones here, very strong, you know, obviously really attractive because you're thinking, oh my God, this is much more robust, but really it's not good for you. So I actually have stopped using these because I'm putting these in the trash. No joke. I take my ingredients very seriously, very seriously. Okay, that being said, 10 grams. Ooh, I violated one of my rules. I usually use nice big bowls. Okay, because I want to make sure that this is really mixed in there. Smush, smush, smush. This looks good to me. And let's get our dough. So we threw this back in the refrigerator for a moment. In the event that you are working and you get interrupted and the dough isn't behaving the way you need it to behave, it's because the dough got a little bit too warm. So when it's starting to spring back, all you do is you pop it in the fridge for a minute and it will remember who's the boss. Look at you behaving now. Okay. Take the butter and you're going to smear it over the entire area of your dough. Okay, so this is just in case I give up on the spatula and start using my hand, but oh good, this is perfectly room temperature. In order to spread it easier, put little dollops on first. Don't just start with one big clump. And if you're cooking with kids, this is fun for them too. That one big dump is too immediately gratifying. You'll keep their attention longer if you like dot it all over the place. And then that's it. And you're going to be very careful just to skim the top all the way to the end here. The butter's going to be glue for the dry filling of sugar and cinnamon. I pay really close attention to right here because this is the heart of the cinnamon roll. Please make sure that you take care of that heart, both figuratively and literally. I'm also eyeing where I'm going to most likely cut to make these even. So this is probably going to be a sacrifice, and then this little edge here is probably going to be a sacrifice. So going to the edge there is just fine by me. And then all of the filling. In order to do it as evenly as possible, kind of have my hand about 8 inches off of the board. Until we have to start really filling in these areas. We're going to generously butter the baking dish. sides included because the second rise is going to rise in here. We want to make sure that it can do so unencumbered. I use about a tablespoon and a half, just FYI. And you can use a metal baking dish. It will conduct the heat a little bit faster, but this is pretty. And I want you guys to see what was going on. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Okay, now we're going to start at the end that's closest to you, closest to your heart, and you are going to roll just start on one end. And keep your hands on the dough so it doesn't roll off. And you want to do it tight. There we go. And as even as possible. There we go. Just like that. That is a pretty baby. Oops, come on. Good. And we're going to end with the seam side down. All right, now we're measuring this for 12. And the way that I make sure that these are cut without smushing down the dough is I do use dental floss. And I do it just like this. That's one. Two. Okay, make sure nothing uncurls. Now what happens if you don't have the dental floss and you want to use a knife and your dough is a little bit smushy? Put it back in the fridge for a minute, let it harden up. That's fine. Okay, this is going to be my little sacrifice one, you guys. Now we are actually going to have a second rise. We're going to let this sit for about 45 minutes or so. They are going to rise again and then we bake them off. So we have been out and about for about an hour and 15 minutes or so, and in that time, the cinnamon rolls have doubled in size and they are beautiful. And even that little teeny tiny one that was left over that I thought was a sacrifice that made it back into the batch, she has bloomed beautifully. And it's really funny, where is she? I think this is the little tiny one right here. This one is the problem child who's trying to like get out of there, but I don't want to smush it too much. But look at those beauties. I'm going to brush this with a little bit of butter and then we're going to pop them in the oven. Everybody got, okay, I'm especially going to get these corners. That's the most fun part. Do you want to see? Hi there. Look at this brand new, beautiful virgin oven. And cinnamon rolls. And set the oven for 25 minutes. In that time, we will make the cream cheese icing and it'll be ready to go. Boing. All of that. About 100 grams of powdered sugar. To this, I am going to add just a little vanilla paste. Just a little. There. Because I want the flecks and seeds in there. But I don't want it overwhelmed with vanilla. I want that cream cheese to really shine through. Oh my God, that's good. And just to help to get it to come together, I'm gonna add just a little bit of the cream right now. Like a tablespoon or so. Yeah. This is perfect. We are going to let these cool. There. Uh-oh, honey, hold on. I see you. Okay. Now, of course, there's two kinds of people. There's heavy icing people, and then there's light icing people. I don't actually want to see the cinnamon roll because I know it's there, just give me the icing. I actually like, ooh, this is hot. I like seeing the swirls. It gives me a sense of anticipation. I mean, I know that I'm getting ready to go through this layer of sweet, and there's gonna be enough for me to dunk and play with my fingers, but then I'm gonna get into that delicious inside. And by the way, remember I told you that there are some people that actually pour cream onto the rolls before they cook it to make it gooey. This makes it soggy. So you get this soggy mess. Can't convince me that that is the way you make cinnamon rolls. Okay, you ready to dig in? You are? Yeah, okay. Let's go. Oh, this looks so good. Oh, and also cinnamon rolls should be torn, not cut. There we go. Caramelization on the bottom. Oh, there. Oh, that's a pretty baby. All right, this is the first one, you guys. All right, look how tender and soft that bread is. There's a caramelization there from the brown sugar. Texture is phenomenal. And the bread, the dough, is so soft and buttery and is not overly sweet. You are gonna love, love, love these cinnamon rolls. All right, your turn. Here, dip into that. That's really good, isn't it? You've got bread that actually has absorbed the flavor of the cinnamon and the sugar. And the balance is perfect. I'm serious. Balance is perfect on this one. Holler if it ain't. Thanks for watching. You guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying till the end, I guess. Yeah, come back, please. My kitchen is open.